Welcome back to Opally Hour. So today we are continuing our Countryside Notes tin build, and I'm going to start with putting these items of furniture in the house. Now it doesn't say to do that at this stage, in fact it says to do it at page 9 and we're on page 8. However, it gets the stuff out of the way. That's the way I'm looking at it. So only thing to go on the top floor is going to be the bed. So this up here. So I'm going to get some tacky glue to secure that on the floor. So let me get some glue on there. I mean all-purpose glue, the glue they give you probably all would work just as well. Just going to make sure that it's the pillow end. And in you go, fella. It's going to have a bright light right behind it. It's going to be lovely. Let me get the bulb out of the way a bit. It's kind of a bit in the way there. There we go. No, not quite. I want to break the light. However, it's a little bit in the way. There we go. Got there eventually. And then just push that down. They're going to have one big bedside light. That's all I'm going with. Then next we will put the oven in, which goes down here in the far left corner. Alright, so I'm going to pop some tacky glue in here. And then when I put it in, well, that was nice. Then when I put it in, it just go in the glue on the way back through. Such a shame you don't see much of these really, but you see a bit more in this build than you do in some. Then I'm going to do the table, which is going to be basically they call it a fruit basket, but not sure why it's on the floor. And I'm going to put stuff on there in a moment. Next goes in, let's see, is it just the table and chairs? Oh, we've got a shelf to put in. Alright, the shelf is next, and that's towards the back. Right, 3 deliveries in a few minutes, sorry about that. As I said, next we are, oh I put my glue the wrong way up. Next we're going to put this shelf on, which is here. Let's get this lid on there. It's not on properly, but it's on. Let's put it the right way round rather than upside down. And I'm just going to put it in line, basically up here. Then I'm going to put in some stairs, just seeing which way they face. Kind of go, I don't think it matters really. So I was going to put those in. Ooh, my shelf's dropped. Hopefully you can see that. It's in there. Looks a bit crooked, doesn't it? I see what you're saying to me. You're like, that's bloody crooked. You are right, it was. Still looks it from your view, but I don't know. Better? That too. And yeah, these stairs, back to the stairs. So there was a hole at the top here, that's what you're meant to attach stairs to. But we still have to get in this big table and the 2 chairs. Let's see, do that and this. So just put a bit of glue on either end. Maybe this. And pop, sorry, Papa's got a new ball. They all have. I bought new balls for all of them. I'm just going to put that towards the back there, which I moved, then promptly moved the shelf. Maybe I should have put some on the back of it. Let's get that out again. Don't really need it in the top because that's where it's going through the hole, so it didn't do anything. I have to straighten that shelf out again. There we go. Okay, so that's our stairs and our shelf. Next we have the table and chairs. Actually I should do this fruit next. So for the fruit we are just adding some beads. So I'm going to again use the tacky glue. I mean, the beauty of the tacky glue, really, other than the fact it doesn't come out beautifully, is that it doesn't really leave string all over the show. And they are using these tiny little beads for this. I'm not sure why you would have a fruit basket on the floor. All I'm thinking is that it's just the way they like it. I don't know the answers to this. So it's up to you how many you put on here. Put one. Huh? That one landed in the pot on the stove. I will leave it there. I'm sure it won't stay there. If I move it, it will come back out, but it looks kind of okay. Oh, I guess I should get it out. I don't think I can. And I don't want to mess it up because none of this is dry really yet. That one fell towards the back. And then I'm going to let this dry because we're going to move on to do some other stuff for over the other side here. So there are plenty of these beads. You're not going to run out of beads. So you can put as many or as little as you want on there. Just got my tweezers cleaned and messed them up. I'm trying to get some of the greeny browny colours. Don't even know where that one went. There's more red than the brown colours in here. Okay, plenty of fruit. Up to you how many you put on and how you organise them. I'll put one more on the top, why not? But when this dries it'll look fine. Once it comes off. That's what I get for saying just one more. There we go. Let's clean these tweezers before they start sticking to every darn thing. Anyway, I think that's the last time we need those beads. So when this dries, it'll dry clear. And you'll be able to see all that. Right, last thing to put in the house is table and chairs, and we'll move on to the other bits on the outside. Just trying to get that out of the way. Okay, so tacky glue again. Get rid of that. And I'm going to put the table in first, I think. No, I guess I should put the chairs in first. Whole lot of glue on there. Or I'll put one chair in, then I'll put the table, and I'll put another chair. It's a holiday cottage, so I guess what they do is they come back, they sleep, they eat, and they go to bed. Eat, sleep and bed. That's what they have going down. And then put your table on, which means you can't see half that shelf. I'm going to move this over a bit. There we go. That'd be okay. Of course I don't have glue on where I'm going to put the other chair. I'm just going to put it kind of towards the front of it. Now, what do you think? Shall I move the table over a bit? A bit over and a bit more forward. Kind of in front of the stairs, and we can still see the stuff at the back. Alright, so that's that done. I'm going to put this to one side. Just thinking if there's anything else that we have to put in there, but I don't think there is. I think everything else is outside of that. So bear with me and I will get the next stage. Alright, this will be, we are building a outside wall and we will be putting some paper on these pieces and also on the steps. So I'm going to get those cut out, building a couple of plants and decorating like an arch. So let me get all that cut out ready to go. Right, as I was saying, can't remember if I put glue in or not. Anyway, just put a tiny bit of glue in the top here. And again, I'm using that to hold this. I have to put it in by hand, but that's kind of okay. And that will be left to dry once I get it in there. It doesn't want to go in there. Guess I should have got another pair of tweezers ready. Don't know why it doesn't want to go in there. Because it is a hole all the way through. Just pushing it in there now. Okay then, I'm going to do that sort of different. Cut the end off, shove it in like so, leave it to dry, let go, and then get the other one. Yeah, it's definitely a hole all the way through. Or is it? Maybe it's only part through. You know it is. That is not a hole all the way through, I don't think. I'm not seeing daylight behind it. Gosh, come back. So I'm just going to put this one on top too. So I bought all the dogs some new tennis balls today. So I have very happy dogs right now. And I'm just going to put this one on there too, like so. Let it dry a moment. And while those are drying, it doesn't look anywhere near as nice as the other one, does it? Let's get that in there. That in there. And put it upside down then. Oh my goodness, let go. That will end up with more anyway. Right, next we are going to do a little gate here, and what we need is on the striped side that you have here, you want to put 2 pieces of black, which is these, and they are to be 0.8 centimeters. So about here. Oh, didn't even cut. There we go. And exactly the same size on this one. Just make sure they're the same, really. Then those will be stuck on, and then we will need that again in a second. So make sure it's the curved side up here. You know what, I'm going to do this with tacky. I need to bring the new one out. That's a lot of tacky. Plus I put it upside down, so I did really good. Okay. And then it's basically looking like it's a large hinge. Alright, Miss Squeaker, and make sure it goes to the edge there. Like so. Like so. I'm going to actually measure them from the inside, let it dry, and then if it needs trimming I can do that. Like this one's longer. Easier to make it shorter than try and make the other one grow. Oh, she's lost a ball behind my models. Hold on. She was tricking me. She had them both. Alright, back to this. So I'm just going to even them out, and then I'm going to cut that end off. Just make sure they're as straight as you can. And then, other than sticking to it, I am going to put a tiny, tiny, tiny piece on the other side. And gosh, I don't even know what to use glue-wise. I guess a bit more tacky, but it comes out so much. And this is depicting like the handle, so you can imagine how small this is going to be. And then this will go to one side and also dry. So I'm going to put the tiniest piece on there. Well, the aim was to put it on there and cut it there, but that didn't work. I know you can't see it, but it is there. Right, and when that dries, I have faith we will see the tiny little handle there. And I'll be able to cut that other piece off, so I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to cut these two pieces in. Get rid of that. This I'm okay with. So I'm going to cut these two pieces in, so I can get you to see what I'm doing. So just turn them over. And just do that on your board, and it should hopefully work out to be okay. There you go, there's one. I'll get the second one now. I'm going to get all this glue off me again. I think I made the dog's day, giving them a ball to play with. Okay, those are cut in. So I know it's still going to have some pieces which are wet, but we can... It's interesting, they get you to attach this before putting any of this stuff on. Interesting. Anyway, mine isn't. Mine's this way. And this has a nodule on it. Oh, it's meant to have. Well, how's it meant to go straight against the arch? That's silly. So, straight against there, one on that side. I'm going to just use wood glue for this. All my tools will need a darn good clean after this. And one on each side. And then the gate will actually go in the middle. Does it go on each side? Yes. No, it goes in front of it. Like this. Like that. Guess it's to give it a little bit more depth. but the gate will go by the arch, and then we'll be able to put our little flower pots there on here, and then we're going to do some green all the way around the arch. So I'm going to pop something, maybe this underneath each side. You can't see anything I'm doing again. I'm not sure I'm liking this new whole angle thing for the camera. I screw up more than I normally do, and that's shocking to hear. Right, so what we want is it to dry with it slightly off the ground, a little bit elevated. Let me find something I can use. Maybe this down. There we go. And I'm going to put some more glue on here because this one I didn't put any extra on. And in fact, I will, while this is all doing that, I will get the stairs going as well. And this can all have a moment. While I go and do some chores that I need to do while this sits. Right, under, come under there. Okay, and then we will put these steps underneath that, so it will be like this. Patience. Alright, and all I'm going to do is put some wood glue along here and leave that along here, and then all we have to do is put that blue door on the window, the plant pots and the green going around it. Got windows on my mind. Okay, that's about even. Gonna leave that, do a few chores, and then I'll be back in 2 ticks for Lamb's Town. Alright, gonna trim this gate, but I think it came out okay. If I can trim it all better. Well, you know what happened? The inner piece of wire came out of it. How weird is that? Oops, that's not fully percent set. Sorry, just getting that back in. Okay, and then this goes, it looks like it's between here, so let's see if we can do that. I don't think it's going to do it from my point of view. Maybe on the back we can just put it in and not worry about it. How about that? So wood to wood. So I'm going to put it inside and outside, and on the bottom here, and we will see where we can get it to touch. You couldn't see any of that either. Not doing very well with this new camera angle idea. It was so you could get in a bit closer on some of this, the small stuff when you do small stuff. Then I keep, well, damn it. I think it'll be fine. And I keep knocking it, and that's not helpful. I would say, and then I keep forgetting to put it in view, but I do that a lot normally. Okay, it doesn't fit between them, but it fits like this. Just make sure it's flat as I can. And this one went inside, wasn't the idea. okay. So I'm okay with that. Next we are going to put these little flower pots on, and I am going to use some super glue on this. So I'm going to put just a bit on here and a bit on here. It does take a second to dry this stuff. It isn't as instant as other super glues, I guess. And then it wants it on there like I just had it before I knocked it off. And then we're going to put green all around this arch as well. Wow, this is going to be fun. That was sarcasm. Maybe I could put it on the side. The other one would definitely be dry by now, by the way. Alright, well, last time that happened, we decided not to bother with the super glue, I believe. And we just went with the tacky, which seems to hold things generally in place a bit. Even better than the super glue, let's put it that way. Maybe it's that one. I mean, I've had success with it, and then recently, not so much. Maybe it's because I keep putting it down, and it's like, we'll show you. I don't think you saw any of that anyway, again. And what I do is I concentrate so much on what I'm doing that I fail to check what you're actually seeing and what you're not seeing. Hey, we have a falling over plant, a bit like mine would be if I had them in my garden, I'm sure. It doesn't even look like there's any glue on the top there, does it? Let's get that from there. Go on, and then take it up. And then let go of me, and we should be good. I'll put a bit more on there. Oh, my pup's got the stump thing. I don't even know where she gets some of these things from, in reality. She was playing with one of my little purple wand things that I used to mop up glue. No clue how she would have got that. I'm in a totally inaccessible place for her. And why she needs that one, I bought her something new today. It's just like a child, isn't it, really? You can give them all the toys when they're little in. What they're interested in is packaging. I had it in place, so I'm not saying I didn't, but then I wanted it in a different position. Right, I'm going to leave that to dry, and then we're going to put some green all around here and put some flowers on, and I'm going to check the length of this video. Alright, that's had a few minutes to sit. I'm going to put the greenery on. Thought maybe if I use here it might be a bit easier. And it just goes around here, followed by some little pink flowers. So like that. I'm quite happy with how that gate turned out, actually. Looks alright. So, let's see. And you kind of want it a lot of flowers, but you also, not flowers, leaves. But not too many. And with tacky glue, it kind of just attaches itself to it, which is kind of nice. And then we'll put some pink flowers on. So I'm just putting a couple of layers on this. This will mess up my tweezers again. Something like that. And you can trim it in things. You can really design these type of things how you want. Maybe if I stopped touching it, it would stay where I wanted it. What do you think? There goes my mischief again. Okay, just going to push that up into the top there. Right, let's pop some flowers on. Maybe I'll put a little bit extra greenery at the top here, being I've got it right here. Well, it would have been great if it had gone the way I wanted it to, of course. Maybe something like that. Dang it. Should have left it. Okay, down you go. Okay. Right, we will get some little pink flowers on it. I think it looks... Oh, you can't see a darn thing. I think it looks okay. Alright, and then we'll put some of these little pink flowers on. Happy to have this one to hand because it already was off. And put as many as you want on, really. So how many do they recommend? Do they have a quantity? No, not really. Just put some on. And you'll be using these in a few little places, and we've already used some for some flowers. I think we get to use them again for some flowers. And I'm going to put some glue on the paper and then do what we did before, just dunk them in and put them on. Which messes up my tweezers and my hands. It's all glue. And this one here. Probably could have done with not having the bottom piece of that. Let me see if I can get that off. Well, if I take it off, well, I could have done that anyway, right? Okay, so get that one here, like so. Might put just one more in on that far side. Just don't like overly doing this because, you know, when it's looking reasonable, and use just one more, and that all falls apart and falls over. Remember, the white glue will dry clear. Yay. Go where I want. Gosh. Alright, and that little bit of green decided it wants to come out. Maybe I will let it. There we go. So I think that will be fine for this, and we're going to pop that inside the house now. And it goes right at the back. I'm just making sure that I've got nothing else to do to that. I do not. So let me get this in and get it focused. Okay, a little bit higher maybe. There we are. Right, and this will go on the back wall along here. So I am going to put tacky glue actually on there. This won't, the top of the flowers won't go against the wall because of the, it's just not flat. So some on the bottom, some on each end, like so, and that's probably, I might be able to get a bit actually on here. and here. And let's pop that in. Right. Then we have a tree to do next. So I have got everything ready to do that if we had time. Okay, that's cute. I like it. Right, next. Let me clear all this away and I will get next step. Okay, I don't think we're going to finish today. I was going to do the tree, but I also do have to do a swing. Let me see if I can get this swing done, which will go on the tree, and then that leaves us tomorrow just the tree and the last few pieces of decoration. So wood to wood goes on here, like so. Well, one, you can't see that. Anyway, I'm making basically a swing that's going to be attached to the tree. I will move it in view. Which is going to be attached to the tree that we haven't built yet, which will go to the right hand side by that wall we just put on, hanging from the tree. So I reckon we'll have time to do this. Okay, that's fine. I lift it up without the seat. Now let me move it. Ooh, Madagascar. See, be about to burst into song there. Wow. And get my ruler ready so I can lift the thing and get it out the way. Okay. Of course it fell over straight away. And this is where I can understand why some people do use super glue, because it does make a lot more sense when it's small pieces like this, I guess, if they're confident in what they're doing. Okay. Right, I think I got it. Right, Joe, I think I got it. Alright, so while that's doing that, we take two pieces of 8.5, I believe, centimeters for each, and then you tie them together. So I'm actually going to start at the tied end because it makes sense to me, and then measure about 8 centimeters. And this is going to be the swing handle per se. And then all we're going to do with this is twist it. Just can't get this position of this camera. Just twist it around and around itself, basically. And then it will attach to that seat we just made, and which is the like love seat, I guess, like a romantic swing or something. And just turn them around. I'll get that done. Alright, and then done, and then that wants us to bend it, so I've done that, and that is going to sit either side of here, which I am going to use hopefully super glue for. Well, that hasn't actually, I'm just going to use tacky glue because I haven't had a lot of success with that super glue. So it goes down the side of the bench, it looks like, and then into the seat itself. So let's see. So it kind of goes along here and here. So I knit one side in. Let's get that lid on. I didn't do very well on getting the lid on, that's for sure. I'm going to put that on here. And I'm going to go and wash my bloody hands because all I'm doing is sticking to everything. Alright, let's had a moment, so Let me get the other side, and then we'll start putting these flowers on. And all we have to do basically is cut the ends off of these and stick them to it. And it's just like, not even many, 2 or 3. I can't get the lid off. I don't know if you saw what I was showing you again. Okay. And just make sure it's going to go there, which mine didn't want to go to. Now the other side came out, of course. Oh, I ended up with a little green bead from the other part. Huh. Alright. Get these on there and leave them to sit one side, and then we'll come back and put the little flowers on. Okay, and this just has the ends of these on it. But it looks like, from what I can see, that they are, they're cut off of these. And then it looks like I've lost it. Come back here. And then it looks like these are cut as well to make it into slightly smaller pieces for our swing. And those are those are glued on. Never use the word just. I tire myself by saying such things. So I'm going to do some purples. Going to do, I guess, one of each. So a purple, red and an orange, and cut all of them in half or a bit more if I can. So let me get them ready to go. Alright, so that's quite a lot of pieces really. So we are putting them in from, I guess it's just to, this is not steady yet by the way, but I guess it's just from like up to just over here, like somewhere like that, up there along here. Oh, that's okay. It can be lifted up, I wouldn't say it's steady. So I'm going to do tacky again. That seemed to kind of work quite well. And pop these on, rotating. They've got pink first, which I actually don't have. Well, I've got the red ones of these. I was going to say I don't really have pink. And they've got that at the bottom, so it's kind of going to go up this high. I've got to trim the swing at the bottom yet, because that needs trimming, because it didn't quite marry up. Move that out of the glue, but where you can see, hopefully. Alright, so I am going to start with the pinky ones. Let me turn this around. Be a bit better, wouldn't it? The pinky ones at the bottom. And you could probably do whatever design you want, really. Design it to your heart's content. That's what I'm going to do. I've decided. Have an orange, an orange. Whoops, didn't even pick anything up. I did lose one of these when I was cutting them. It pinged. And another one right there. If I can get it off. And another one here. Really just wants to all stay on. Huh. Okay, and then some purple along here. Something like that. Maybe another orange. Got plenty of them. And it kind of tells you to, you know, basically keep cutting them. And then just do that, but it doesn't go all the way up. It only goes to about that sort of height. Maybe a little bit more. And let me put some more glue on this side, because I think I'm going to end it with a purple. I like purple. And I'm going to put a bit more glue on this side. And then I'm going to move it out of the glue splodge, otherwise Yeah, it all gets stuck to it. After doing all these little bits, we'll need new paper, won't I? Let's put pink one on here. And a red one down here. Another one. And an orange here. Followed by a purple. So something like that. Go back up there. Alright, let me play with this and I will show you. Alright, so I am going to leave it something like this, let it all dry, and then all we have left to do now is to put the tree in, to put the lights all together, and do some other bits and pieces around the outside, like, I'm trying to avoid the glue here, like all down here, and can't see that anyway. Let's get you going a little bit. So like all down here and things like that, which we will also be using this type of thing for. So that will be it for today. Quite happy with how that looks. I think the furniture ended up being quite nice as well, and we've got that in there, although the bed's not all the way down to the ground. Oh well. I think it looks quite nice, and obviously there's going to be plants and things like that along here. So that will be another time problem. And we have our swing ready to go, which I actually really think is quite pretty. This sits on the branch, by the way. Anyway, so that's where we are for today. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you are enjoying the build. Leave any comments that you would like, or send me an email at oakleyhour@outlook.com, or like I say, just leave a comment. And please do remember to like and subscribe. It does enable me to continue growing the channel and provide you more content. But most of all, do take care of yourselves. Bye bye for now. Bye.